So, when he was hired, he said, as far as style of play, our goal is to be enjoyable to watch. We want to win championships, but we also want to put fans in the seats and be easy on the eyes. When you watch us play, you should see teamwork. You should see efficiency on both sides of the ball. I think that was pretty much on display this weekend when Michigan won by 44 points in a drastic shift from what fans have been watching. 43% from three, 5 guys in double figures, 21 assists on 34 shots. I'm really looking forward to watching them play the rest of the year, and that's a great feeling to have. On to the dog shit. Illinois 21, Michigan 7. Welcome back to Scarlet and Maize. I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Zach.
Just straight up, right out of the gate, I don't honestly even want to talk about this team right now. I didn't even finish watching the game because I knew it was a waste of time. Fourth quarter, Michigan's slowly driving. They took 8-some minutes off the clock just for Jack Tuttle to throw another mind-boggling pass that got intercepted near the end zone or by, I don't know, whatever. He's terrible. I was expecting a drop-off in a few different spots from last year, but this is just absurd at this point. I knew that whoever the quarterback would be wasn't going to be J.J. McCarthy, but I also didn't think they'd be significantly worse than DJU. I knew Sharon would take some time to grow, but I didn't expect just to see Brady Hoke with a headset this year. I knew replacing Jesse Minner with Wink Martindale wouldn't be a one-for-one plug-and-play, but I didn't think I'd want Wink fired like 3 games into the season. It turns out, losing the best defensive coordinator last year in college football, one of the best all-level football coaches of all time in Jim Harbaugh, a top 10 draft pick quarterback, arguably the best running back in school history, your top 6 offensive linemen, and more, is a big deal when you recruit at the level Jim Harbaugh recruited at. This week, coming up, is a loss, full stop. Congrats in advance to MSU on your Super Bowl and a catastrophically worst-case scenario season for Michigan. And I mean that, congratulations, like you're going to win the game. I don't care. They'll probably have earned it on the field. I don't care. This season is lost, and the only way it's going to hold for me for the rest of the year is as a baseline for 2025. Is Sharon Moore the guy, or is he Brady Hoke with a headset? He's recruiting really well, and there's rumors of some big happenings coming up shortly, but we'll see if we'll see those players. We will see if we see those players under Sharon Moore as juniors. We'll find out not soon enough, but will Dave Portnoy come through and buy a quarterback for Michigan, or is it going to be the guy who seems too scared to play this year in Jaden Davis, or a true freshman? I don't know. The college football video game, we never talked about this. It actually gave me a little shift of perspective about the 12-team playoff because teams can hope for longer than previously. So although games like the game could hypothetically be devalued in the regular season, not this year, other games could matter more. But on the flip side, Michigan's season is over, and where I would have still had a desire to watch before to see development and whatever, that's gone, because which of these guys will be on Michigan's roster next year? We don't know. Which teams have Michigan's roster on them this year? We don't know. The season is over for Michigan. I obviously hope they turn it around and win out, but not only is it just not happening, what good does it do to blow smoke up my own ass and think they might turn it around? Like, honestly, this is awful. Michigan is my team. I'm still rooting for them. I'm also just not blind, and I'm not going to be like I was under the first 2 years of Rich Rod of like, oh, they're making progress. Oh, they're going to turn it around. They just need a new guy. There's so many holes on this team from the top to the bottom. The punter, who was good for a couple of years, sucks. Like, Kalel Mullings doesn't touch the ball until the third drive. He's the old.
You're not even Iowa at this point. If you don't
Iowa just lost to Michigan State, and I wish that I was Iowa. Like, this is ridiculous. It's absurd. The only good player who's...
Sounds like...
Like, you have a great tight end who you can't get the ball to because out of 4 or 5 whatever scholarship quarterbacks, none of them should be a scholarship quarterback. It's absurd. So you have Kalel Mullings, and you sit him for Donovan Edwards, who can't find a hole to save his life, can't hold on to the ball, apparently. They never send him out for passes. Like, I said last week, this is like worst case scenario. It's like getting to beyond worst. It's like they're trying to tank for someone, and that's not how college football works.
Do you think Michigan benefited from divisions? Because all their losses, none of them have been to East teams.
I mean, that's coming, right? Like, it's not like they're going to beat the East
Did
teams.
they play Penn State this year?
No.
Oh.
Would it have mattered? No, because they're going to lose to fucking Indiana. They're going to lose to Michigan State. They're going to lose to everyone they play. It doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't matter who they play because they're so bad and disorganized and dumb any chance they get.
Well, it's funny because, like, again, I get into the Big Ten, my Big Ten takeaways. I'll just jump to it for now.
Sure.
We'll just skip me when it's then. But I think it's funny that the Big Ten it's 3 Big Ten East teams and Oregon in the race for the Big Ten championship game, which is exactly what we would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Indiana instead of Michigan as one of the Big Ten East teams.
Yeah, Michigan really just parent trapped Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? In the post-game press conference, Sharon Moore said, I have extremely high expectations for the program going on year 7 being there, obviously not as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen where we've been, what we've done, and this is not indicative of who we are and what we should be, and it's my job to fix it. I still have hope for Sharon specifically, and that is draining very quickly. I really hope he's right, but man alive, the fact that I can't just sim to next season sucks because this isn't fun. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to talk about. It's not fun to look forward because you don't know who's on the team, and it's just terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like, even the COVID year was terrible. A lot of people wanted Jim Harbaugh fired, and coming into the next year, like that was the first year that we were recording. I was like, maybe they'll get 9 wins or whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't even that because we don't. At least then we had Jim Harbaugh, who had somewhat of a baseline, except for the 2020 season. But, like, is Sharon Moore just a good offensive coordinator and a terrible head coach? I don't know. At least we had Jim Harbaugh before. It's just absurd that there are 0 quarterbacks on this roster that should be at this level. 0 is insane, and they're not all young.
Yeah. Do you think, like, would you say that, like, that is the biggest problem at this point, is quarterback?
I do. Because Saturday, even the play calling, like, there were some times where the play calling was atrocious, which Sharon Moore said today that Kirk Campbell's going to call plays moving forward. Another strike against Sharon Moore, if you ask me. But, like, there were times receivers were open, and almost every time Jack Tuttle dropped back. 7th year, Jack Tuttle. Dr. Jack Tuttle. Every single time. He would, I don't know. He second-guessed his second guesses and rarely got the ball off. And when he did, you can see why he's second-guessing, because it's 5 yards behind or 10 yards short or straight to the defender for no reason. It's how is this the best option that you have? And they have another open quarterback competition. Great. Jaden Denegal hasn't played yet. Let's see how terrible he is.
It's interesting because, like, it honestly seems like the last few years, more so the first 2 years of the 3-year stretch where Michigan won the Big Ten, it seemed like the first 2 years that it didn't really matter who they had at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So
although I'll push back a little on JJ because his first year starting, they didn't ask him to do too much, but there were times, like in the Illinois drive, he made a few throws.
Right.
Like, Cade was not really able to do that, but they just ran the ball the whole time. And then this year, they have Hassan Haskins in Kalel Mullings, and they don't give him the ball.
Donovan Edwards.
No. Donovan Edwards sucks. He's not good.
You said Hassan Haskins.
Yeah. In 2021, they had Hassan Haskins.
Oh, I thought you were saying this year. I think I misunderstood something you said.
And maybe I misspoke. I
thought you were saying this year that they had.
I'm disinterested in what I'm even saying because this team is so bad and it's absurd. Yeah, I don't know.
So you don't think there's anything that they could do? Like, does their schedule somewhat easy coming up? Like Michigan State, obviously, you feel like they're going to lose.
They're going to lose
but
to Michigan State. They're going to lose to Indiana. They're going to lose to Ohio State. And then I don't remember who the fourth game is. And I don't think that it matters.
There's only 4 games left already?
Northwestern. They might beat Northwestern. Huzzah, 5 wins.
Because Ohio State has... They already had their bye. Michigan has a bye coming up still.
The Michigan already had their bye.
Oh. Well,
maybe they have another game. Who cares? They're not going to win.
It's crazy. I didn't even realize how close to the end of the season we're getting.
Not close enough. Honestly.
Because Ohio State's got Nebraska, Michigan...
I'll look it up real quick.
Penn State, and Indiana. Do they have a 5th one?
Michigan has a loss, and then a loss.
Ohio State plays Northwestern as well.
Oregon!
Oh, duh.
So Michigan plays this week, MSU. That's a loss.
Then they have
Oregon is coming...
They're going to... Yeah, next week you got it. They got it.
Yeah, next week is Oregon coming to Ann Arbor. That's going to be maybe the worst loss in school history.
4 winnable games. I really don't...
Stop.
I honestly don't think Oregon's that good. And it's
You're calling number 1 Oregon a winnable game for 4-3 Michigan, who squeaked out 2 of their wins.
Hear me out when I say winnable. When I say winnable, I mean that there's a chance that they could win.
Michigan is not going to keep that game within 35 points.
35 points?
You're
giving me 35 points?
There is 0% chance that Michigan wins that game. There's 0% chance it's close at halftime.
I don't know.
Will Johnson got hurt on Saturday, so he's probably out.
Yeah, that's tough.
But it's not because they're to this spot with him. That's when you were like, oh, they're going to be worse next year because they lose all these guys. They're at this spot this year with those guys who aren't changing the outcomes of games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have Michigan State, probably a loss. This is probably their second best chance for a win, which they would need if they want to make a bowl game and prolong my suffering this year. Michigan State, Oregon, Indiana, who's going to screw them up with their backup or third-string quarterback, who's better than Michigan's any quarterback. Northwestern might be a win. It's at home. Is anyone going to care at that point? Are they going to do the 2 free tickets for the price of a Coke? I don't know. And then at Ohio State, which Ryan Day might try to score 100 just to get that monkey off his back, honestly. And he probably should. But, yeah. Season's over. It's fine. Rough spot. From that on to the pick standings where we both went 500.
Yeah. Terrible.
But I got the bonus point.
We've been bad.
Because I called UCLA. I'm proud about that one.
Yeah, that was cool. You got a lot of those other ones wrong though.
Yeah. I went 5-4 with the bonus point. You're 4-4, so another bonus point. Huzzah! We both have 21 losses. I have 8 more wins. So the bright spot is I'm going to get a good meal out of this at the end of the year.
Maybe. It's still a long season.
I know, but whatever.
If you go 5-4 again, I can figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. You just gotta start picking opposite picks. I guess you already have a little. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like we picked a decent amount of opposite last week. It's kind of crazy.
Evened out.
Yeah.
One step further take. Regardless of what Indiana does, Ryan Day will win Coach of the Year.
What?
I just wanted to give a crappier take than what Michigan is doing, so that maybe there's something more negative than Michigan football.
No, I feel like Indiana.
I think the Indiana coach is going to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a lock at this point, yeah. My one step further take is the national championship contenders are Ohio State, Oregon, and Georgia. And that's it. I don't think anyone else is that very good at all.
Oh, yeah, I called the Georgia win, too.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Made me feel real good about everything. Big Ten takeaways. You already did yours, right?
Yeah.
I have 2. Nebraska had not allowed a single rushing touchdown through the first 7 weeks of the season and then gave up 5. Again,
to who?
Parent Trap. To Indiana.
Like what?
This is a Michigan stat from the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That is now an Indiana stat.
Wild.
I hate a world where Indiana...
I love him.
Kurt Signetti, something like that.
He's incredible. I think he... Honestly, find a way to get him on Ohio State's staff. Just on the staff, not the head coach.
They have set the precedent of taking head coaches and making them coordinators.
Do it, dude. That guy needs to be on the staff.
Indiana is definitely making the college football playoff, but I'm calling it now. We'll struggle to win 7 games next year. The schedule is rougher. They have the last 4 or 5 games of the year are away next year.
How do you end up with that? That's crazy.
That's like a glitch in the college football game.
It literally happened to me.
But they're also losing a lot of guys, so we'll see if.
But they really attacked the portal. They
brought in a lot of JMU guys too, and now that's going to be up.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where the coach came from.
Right.
But yeah, I'm calling it now. Indiana's going to make the playoff, but then struggle to win 7 games. They'll make a bowl.
Only if their coach leaves.
I disagree. We'll see. Doesn't even matter. Football doesn't exist. Rapid fire turd pile, of which Michigan is now a part of. Rutgers at USC. I got USC.
Yeah, I got USC as well.
Washington at Indiana. It's got to be Indiana.
Yeah,
which means
Washington.
That's the thing is like, old Indiana, they could be at this spot, and I'd be like, they're going to mess this up.
Right.
I don't think they will anymore.
I'm a believer in the Signetti guy.
Northwestern at Iowa. Thanks a lot for disappointing me, Iowa. Iowa's going to win this one, though.
That was a win that I called, though. I'm pretty sure you picked Indiana to get upset last week.
I think I did, too. And I'm done.
It was not close.
They're going to win out except for Ohio State because Ohio State's winning out.
Yeah, I've got Iowa.
Maryland at Minnesota. I got Minnesota.
Yeah, I got Minnesota.
This is just pathetic.
What is?
This whole conference except the top 2 or 3.
Top 4.
I don't care. Penn State at Wisconsin. I got Penn State.
Yeah, I got Penn State as well.
Michigan State is going to win at Michigan.
It was.
And
can we
act like
pause
it
at
was
the
a
Penn
big
State
win.
game for a
Yeah.
second? I was hilarious. I saw this like random person making a tweeting like a possible scenario of like teams records scenario, like the top 4 records, and it was like Ohio State 11-1, Oregon 11-1 with the loss to who'd they have them losing to? I don't even remember, but they had Penn State losing this game to Wisconsin, and I was
no
like,
chance.
Like no shot.
It might be close because James Franklin plays down to Mac school sometimes, but
right, yeah, and if it is close going in the last few minutes, I'd be worried about James Franklin running a draw on 4th and 8. But yeah, I got Penn State. Yeah, so
my faith in Luke Fickell is lower than my faith in James Franklin, is what this game comes down to.
Yeah, but it's not lower than your faith in Sharon Moore.
I'm not selling on Sharon Moore yet, but this season, just the team in general as a whole, cool. For sure. Varsity games: Illinois at Oregon. I got Illinois. Oregon.
You skipped that last game down there, right?
No, I said Michigan State wins at Michigan.
Oh, I didn't say mine.
Oh,
I got Michigan State.
That's because you're not dumb. Nebraska at Ohio State. Ohio State.
Yeah.
Probably by a lot.
Yeah, I've got Oregon. You're going so far. I got Oregon in the Illinois-Oregon game. I got Ohio State in the Nebraska game.
I'm just bummed out that we stopped talking basketball. Game of the week. Number 12 Notre Dame at number 24 Navy. What do you got?
Dude, we picked the same exact picks, not ironically. I got Notre Dame by 7.
I got Notre Dame by 7. Go Navy.
Yeah.
I want Navy to win.
Yeah, it'd be really fun to see Navy win, but I'm not a believer in it. Navy and Army are fun, but they have their schedule, you know.
Yeah.
If Michigan had their schedule, maybe they'd be
probably in the exact same spot they're in now because they're not beating anybody. 7 points against Illinois. It doesn't matter that Illinois is ranked. It doesn't matter that Brett Bielema is the coach and is as established a coach at a terrible school as possible. Illinois is Illinois, period. And Michigan scored 7 points. Ridiculous. Things no one is talking about. I have one or two, depending on what you say, but USC killed an entire conference to lose on the road at Maryland and Minnesota. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Mine is the iconic mascot at Oregon. Has gone downhill and really doesn't deserve the hype anymore in general.
Dang.
Nobody's really talking about how bro fell and his mask came off. Everybody saw his face. Like,
I didn't even see that.
It's crazy. Nobody's talking about it, and I think that's a huge deal. Like, that's an iconic mascot. Like, he's probably arguably number 1. But
now they're gonna take him out back and shoot him.
No, but honestly, dude, that's like the biggest no-no in all of mascotting, and I think he cursed them.
This is a true story. You have a little bit of time. I was the high school mascot in high school, and a friend and I would trade off at halftime. This
Yeah.
is just junior, senior year. And he would take the first half, I would take the second half. First half, he would talk to the other guy. They wouldn't know that we'd switch. And then so I would come and we'd usually fight at halftime, like fake fight. We were losing in the high school playoffs, 42 or 49-0 to East Kentwood, which is a school in Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm. The Falcons.
The Falcons. So that's key to the point, actually, because the Falcon, the mascot head was kind of like this. It was cloth with a little beak.
Wait, can you do it again? Get a better angle. I feel like my angle is better.
Yeah, like it was like this. I was Rudy, R-O-O-T-Y, the Ram, and I had this gigantic helmet. I saw, or not helmet, but
what is it?
head.
Helmet?
Head.
I feel like it is a helmet.
There was a little helmet in there holding me in place,
Yeah.
but then I would look through the neck, and I went out there to shake his hand, and I slapped him because I thought it would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
This guy puts up his dukes and is punching for real, and he punched the head, and it turned. No, it turned this way first. Like the helmet came loose. And my first thought was the show. So I turned my head like this just to keep the head straight.
Yeah.
He didn't do that.
Crazy.
I'm a better mascot than the Oregon Duck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and like, he's not in as many commercials anymore. And I just, what's the deal?
I don't know.
It's gone downhill.
It's a good question. What's your tweet of the week?
Oh, my tweet of the week is from @BuckeyeFett. It's a quote tweet, and he was responding to the original tweet from @BlueBy90. Don't know why that's their name. They probably haven't won a game by 90s in over 90 years. But this is the worst I've seen Michigan football in a long time is the original tweet. And in a long time, long time, 2 longs. Forget the extra long. But then the quote tweet says, "It's been 3 years," because
The COVID year.
yeah, they were horrible in 2020.
Until Cade McNamara. No.
Till they had that comeback win against Rutgers.
Oh man. My tweet of the week is from Big Ten men's basketball, and it just says some top plays from Michigan basketball's exhibition win over Oakland.
Yeah. You brought up basketball at the beginning and then quickly got on the show, so I didn't get to talk about it. Ohio State had an exhibition game and they got smoked by Cincinnati. So yeah, so it's not looking good for the Buckeyes. But
second leading scorer, I think, for Michigan was Roddy Gale. So thanks for that.
Of course. And on the bright side for Ohio State, Cincinnati is a ranked team opposed to Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan. I don't know what the deal is. I think this one was for charity, and they have another one. I thought you were only allowed one exhibition, and then they're having 2, and I don't know how it
maybe
works,
because one was for charity.
Maybe because they foresaw that Michigan football would be miserable, and they could get more viewers.
Did you see what Northern Michigan did, and Michigan State and Tom Izzo and all that? I thought that was pretty cool. They played at Northern Michigan and retired Tom Izzo's jersey there.
Oh,
yeah.
I did hear that they were retiring his jersey, but
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this was at Oakland. Doesn't Oakland play at LCA normally? Maybe not.
I don't think they do normally play there, but it is essentially a home game for them, yeah. Although it's right down the road from Michigan too, right?
Also, this game would have been just as fun played anywhere else. At Michigan, at Oakland.
Probably would have had just as many fans.
At a high school in Detroit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were there, but all I know is Michigan looked good, and they looked different than the basketball team the last couple of years. And at least as of now, I have some hope in a Michigan team, and it's fun to watch.
Just to bring up something that we discussed before. Before we started recruiting, I mean, just cut that part out, dude. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. I don't even know what I was saying.
Okay.
Hope is useless. You said that. I said that. You agreed.
Yeah, hope is useless for Michigan football this season.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. I don't think we need to cut that. I'm on record. Michigan football this season is irredeemable.
But I thought we were just talking about in general. Hope is useless.
Oh.
I thought your hope in the basketball team is useless, dude.
Well, with that, me and Zach are going to go to therapy. Until next season, go blue.
Go Buckeyes.